Hello everyone. I decided to create this screencast so that you can find, an easier way of how to navigate the online library. Of course, you want most of your sources coming from the online library. Let me turn this up just a bit. So if you have any questions in regards to accessing sources, the librarians, they're there to help you with the chat feature. You can email me as well. But because I've been in your spot before and I understand the anxiety of having so much, at your fingertips and not probably understanding or knowing how to navigate the system, I decided to create this screencast. This is Comp 2, so a lot of you probably have experience with researching from Comp 1. So some of this may be new to you, but some of this, for those of you who've taken Comp 1 here at CSU before, a lot of this, may be familiar for you. One thing I do when I access the online library is I always go to the databases. Accessing the databases is an easier way to filter out the databases. So I'm going to click here. All right. So the databases are listed from letters A through Z. Okay. And they're listed a lot of times by discipline or industry. Some of them are more general education or general information. One of my favorites is Academic OneFile. So that is the one that I'll be accessing today. But if I scroll down, you see the databases are listed here in alphabetical order. And the databases, they are what house the academic articles, from journals and academic magazines. The opposing viewpoints is also a very popular one for students. However, I think once you get in there, it can be a bit confusing, that particular one. But again, if you want to use that one, go right ahead and feel free to use that one. But I'm going to go back up here to Academic OneFile. All right. I'm going to click there. It looks like my computer should not be running too slow today. We know how technology can be. All right, so when you get to the home page for Academic OneFile, you are prompted to type in your keywords. But let me show something to you. So you see that full text documents are automatically checked off, which is great because you want to have access to the full text document versus just an abstract of an article or, not having access to the entire article. If you check off peer-reviewed journals, those are like the creme de la creme when it comes to research. Those are the best sources to use. However, using those sources may also be limited because there may not be a lot out there for your topic. So a lot of times it may not yield as many results as just, making sure it's unchecked. But again, it's up to you. So I'm going to check here. I'm thinking of a popular topic that, people are talking about nowadays, probably vaccinations, right? So the one thing about research would be your keyword search and making sure you're choosing good keyword searches so that they can yield results, good results, a number of results. So therefore, I'm going to just type in vaccinations. I know it's a bit broad, but you might want to start broad. And then if you find yourself wanting to narrow the scope of your ideas, you can go ahead and put another keyword under, the search for feature. And then what happens is the database will read the particular keywords you put there and try to find sources that match. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to type in vaccinations. I'm going to click on search. All right, so as you can see, we have yielded 2,106 academic journals. So a lot of times when students tell me that they are having trouble finding research, good research, academic research, I always question the way in which they're searching, because if you're not using the online library correctly, you might have a difficult time finding good research. But with this being such a popular topic, I'm not surprised that it yielded this many results. So if I scroll down and, I just scroll, there are quite a bit of results here. A lot of these articles are in 2019, which is great, because good research, you want to make sure it's within the 10-year range. Really good research will be in the 5-year range. But due to the popularity of this topic, of course, it's going to get a lot of search results. So I'm going to click on that's a brief article. You want to avoid brief articles and letters to the editors. So I'm going to just click on this one. It's from the Journal of the Perioperative Nurses College of the New Zealand, Nurses Organization. So I'm going to click there. All right, and once I'm in here, there are a couple things I want you to note. All right, so this article is the HTML version, okay, of the source, meaning it's not the PDF where it looks like it's actually in a magazine. If you want the PDF version, a lot of times you will be prompted to download the PDF. The PDF version is always a great version of the article, because for the most part, it looks like how it will look in the academic journal or magazine. And it also has the page numbers, so they're paginated. The HTML is not paginated. So therefore, if you're going to directly quote from your for your source, you're going to have to count paragraphs if you're going to use the HTML. But I also wanted to show you one thing the Academic OneFile does. As with a lot of databases nowadays, they've improved upon the experience for students. If you notice, the keyword is in red. So each time the keyword is mentioned throughout the document, it will be in red. Okay, we only have one word here in red. But if vaccinations was listed more than one time in the document, then the word vaccinations would be in red font. So that's one great feature about using academic databases. Because one thing about research, you may not have to read the entire source. You might want to skim to see if those keywords are there, if it's yielding enough information for you to argue your point. You don't have to use the entire article. So that's one great thing about researching. There's a listen feature if you want to listen to the document versus read it. So there are quite a bit of features that Academic OneFile offers as a database. All right, the last thing I want to show you is the cite feature here. A lot of databases have definitely improved the APA or citation experience for students. So I'm going to click here. It's defaulted at MLA, so you want to change this to APA, 6th edition. And I'm looking at the citation and everything looks great. Sometimes you might encounter some issues with the cite feature where it may not lowercase the titles for APA, because if you know APA format, all titles need to be lowercase for the article's title or book title. This one does the job. The name of the source is italicized, and of course the volume number is italicized. The issue number is in parentheses, and we have a page number. And again, if you know APA like the back of your hand, like I do, you would, recognize these things. So pretty much what you would want to do is select, copy, and paste this into your document. What I'll do is I'll create another screencast showing how to, paste information in your documents correctly and how to format the reference page. But in the meantime, I hope that this screencast, this video was of help for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.